This YouTube article, I mean, this YouTube video about women now take 94% of jobs. This is in the comment section. Basically, people say that the women are taking on most of the jobs and like the in most fields, especially like the medical field, most just office, AC incorporated jobs, and there aren't many non-AC jobs for which mostly men would do. There aren't many of those. I mean, they're constructing buildings, but for who? The is declining birth rate. So the buildings they are construction is going to be many empty units in those. And so, let's look at the comment section. So he says, I was a manager and was replaced with a woman. He said, not surprisingly, the orders are not being placed. People are not being called back. Shelves are chronically low in stock. And there are new systems in place that are being explained. Volunteers are quitting and clients are being underserved. Yeah. Several replied, part of this is strange to me. It makes sense if it counts voting politicians using DEI, but don't they want higher profits and efficiency? Aren't they part of capitalism? Question mark. And someone replied, they are capital holders, but they are not believers of capitalism. In fact, they're actively subverting capitalism and to usher in more corporate socialism. DEI is just one of many initiatives meant to usher in corporate socialism. Alternate USA to a permanent corporal state easily would make up for the decade or so of paying government to force DEI to the multinational conglomerates doing it was in a very similar situation. I spoke up about it. I put my notice in after nothing got better. It came in after my notice was put in to finish my 2 weeks and got fired for made up reasons. Wow. DEI is legal discrimination. Interesting. Legal discrimination. Someone said add to that 9 of 10 new American jobs since pre-COVID went to someone born outside the country. Wow. 222 upvotes for that. Wow. Someone replied, doesn't fare well for the future of white men. 94% is significant. Said, I'm a boomer, vet, engineer. Noticed through my life that the preference given to women in scholarship, job placement, promotions, and management selections. Man that got ahead, left work, built their own company. One guy used his wife's name to gain female-owned status and get government contracts. Wow, he had to use his wife's name to gain female-owned status and get government. Wow. He was the only working member of the company in his environmental cleanup company. Wow. Hmm. Somebody said hit the nail on the head. Bingo. Wow. Someone said, as a white male, I'm praying for the fall of the POS country. I have the beer and popcorn ready. Wow. Someone said I had to identify as a woman just to get a job. Someone said women want to, but you got 124 comments for upvotes for that. Comments. Shit, something quick. Where the fucking thing? Where's my playlist at? Is it in another section? Uh, let's see. Oh, we got the numbers of Americans filing for employment benefits for the first time fell from 230 to 226. elevated, but still within the range of the last 4 years. Oh, actually, we're in the wrong article. Wrong shit. Go back to the women now hold 94% of the jobs article. Okay, so they're saying someone said in Canada, DEI hiring has become sacrosanct. If you are a straight white male, the only way to get a good job or get promoted is to be, oh wow, is it be LGBTQ or non-binary? Wow. 255 upvotes. Women went to work. Women went to work, stopped raising families. Wow. And most of their jobs are BS anyway. What woman does a, I mean, if a woman, for a man, what's the best job that a woman could do for a man? That's what you need to think about. If it ain't real estate, if it ain't dealing with real estate or vehicles, which most women don't deal with, real estate vehicles, food, drinks now, food, drinks, groceries now. If you can make great food, but you can do that, you can make great home food. Okay, you have some value there. Okay, um, smartphone communication, yeah, you got that, you got some value there. But more so the food and then intimacy from massage, sex standpoint to just caring for each other's standpoint. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Someone said, I don't think the issue is women going to work, but telling this woman that it's a man's job to bring money while they fight that same man for the job. 7-0. And people wonder why the U.S. is in societal collapse. Someone replied, ancient Rome started with women and the property of men. They were his subjects. At the empire, they empowered women. And look what happened. America didn't start like that, though. Huh? They started more off racism, off of Jim Crow type racism, huh? Jim Jim Crow type shit, huh? Jim Crow type shit, huh? It's throughout the developed world population collapse. There is historical evidence going back to the Byzantine Empire. Everywhere women gain power, civilizations fall. Their past is a prologue, man. Interesting prologue. Yes, 100% interesting. Ancient Babylon, more like someone said, look at the story of Adam and Eve. She screwed up paradise. She thought she could do better. Wow. They take 94% of the jobs and still do 0% of the work. Wow. Wow. Exactly this. Someone replied 23-0. They take 94% of the job and still do 0% of the work. Like, you're not wrong. How many Wichita Lime underground miners or plumbers who do more than fill out paperwork and hold traffic stops? Handing jobs to envious, incompetent, and vindictive people is destroying Western civilization. That mainly goes for politicians, huh? that mainly goes for politicians, huh? You don't think they know they're all part of the plan? Someone said half of the jobs don't need to exist and are just adult babysitting. State sponsors discrimination. Wow. State sponsored discrimination, he said. Wow. So let's go back to it with comment section. Where you at? How many minutes we in? 12 minutes? Don't get much done. Let's go. He said the fall of Roman Empire began when they gave women property right. What? Interesting. I never knew that. Someone said the new female manager didn't like me. I was let go after 17 years working for the same company with no notice, nothing. 18-0. Wow. Someone replied, oh well, now you see how black and brown people feel enjoy. Someone replied, this cinnamon never helps and just creates more animosity between the races. It's like a boomer coming in saying something about back in my day. Wow. Someone said having experience in a job position pretty much guarantees you no job or an extremely low ball offer. Companies don't want to pay for experience, but will milk you for every ounce of it. If you don't like it, you'll be replaced without a second thought. This goes against how men were raised and lived up until 15 years ago. We see what's coming and want no part of it. Wow. 15-0 in the comments. Someone said in the 80s, my mom got a low level job and her ego destroyed our family. Wow, her low level and her ego destroyed our family. Someone said women seem to thrive in administrative bureaucratic positions, which seem to me more jobs nowadays, whereas I think men are simply fed up with the system. Interesting. 82-0 in the comments. Someone replied, women thrive in positions that gatekeep and deny services to people that need them. Women thrive in positions that gatekeep and deny services to people that need them. What? Wow. Wow. It means women are are doing are doing more bad than good for society, huh? That well, that means they are doing more. Bad and good for society, huh? Someone said women thrive in cruelty. What? Women thrive in cruelty? I don't get that. Women thrive in cruelty. What do they mean by that? Civilization is built and upheld by man. Civilization is built and upheld by man. Hmm. Someone replied, not anymore. 3-0 in their comment. Civilization comment 10-0. Hmm. So, what? Dang, 16 minutes? Fuck. All right, someone said I was a manager and was replaced with a woman, not surprisingly. Da da da. See what else. Someone said right after this video, Geico had a video of a man struggling with two grocery bags to the front door and two women watching him, judging him and conditionally asking each other if they should help. 60-40-0. Yes, the rule for the decade at least is no man can get better of any woman. No white person can have a laugh at the expense of a minority, and all couples' families are mixed blended. Someone said leftist media hate men and white men in particular, including YouTube. I'm a subscriber to his Peter channel. You often have to put in a specific search to get his podcast to show up. 70 to 0. Someone said perhaps the only option for many men now is self-employment or to start their own businesses. Wow, self-employment. And that would be in real estate, yeah, vehicles, food, drinks, THC, if it's upon a business that, smartphones, maybe MIL, gym, entertainment. When one is accustomed to privilege, equality can feel like oppression. Not in lean mining, roofing, and road resurfacing. They're not. Yes, look for more data as a dump. Someone said, "Thank you, feminism." 25-0. Wow, thank you, feminism. 25-0. Wow. Shocking stats. Thank you for this info. Shocking stats. Thank you for this info. Wow. The system is rigged, obviously so at this point. Yeah, I mean, yeah, most men are in World War III, especially when it comes to America and most Western countries. They want women to have the jobs because they spend more. Companies look at demographics. People with no debt would be the success stories. Someone said not to mention something like 75% of HR managers are white women within the age of 30s to 40s. Yes, the very people in charge of loading your emails will require training about diversity, equity, and inclusion, which you have to sit through and receive your thought reform more or less under the threat of not meeting your KPIs. KPIs means performance indicator. Performance indicator. I know. I think P stands for performers. I think I stands for indicators. I forgot what K stands for. I think K stands for key performance indicators. Yeah, that's what it stands for. Key performance indicators. Societal breakdown. Wow, 3-0. Go feminism. 4-0. Wow. But that's it. Like, comment, subscribe, man. Holler. Let me load this game up and get this game ready. Holler. Let me see if I can upload this video within 20 minutes. Like, comment, subscribe, holler.